Hello friends, today we'll try to learn how to prepare the receipt of a concern when a payment is received and against that payment a receipt is issued to the party. So that how can we do automatically, you know, get the party's name and their station or addresses, and likewise the mode of the payment and the name of the bank where from we have received the payment including the branch of that. So for doing that, first of all, we need to get the name of the concern from whom we are receiving the payment. So we need a database. Let us say this is the our parties list of our sundry data where from we are going to get the payment. And naming convention is the best concept Microsoft has given into Excel. So we always need to define the name of a range wherein we are to act time and again. So likewise, since we are to issue the receipt to one of these parties, we need to define name. We'll just select the range, go to the formula, and we'll click the create from selection. The top row will be the name of the this range. Now the range of this uh, party's name is party name. Okay, so side by side we'll try to define the names of the columns into this. We can define all columns underscore parties. We can define there these are the range of all the column, and above all we'll select this table and we'll convert it into the table just by clicking the insert and there into the table. And after that we'll name this table as T underscore parties. T is for table and parties is the table name. So this is what was required into party's name. Now what kind of payment we will receive, whether it will be cash, check, RTGS. We'll define this range again going to formula and create from selection. The top row text will be the name of this range. Now this is the name of this range is types of payment, and then we need into this receipt the name of the bank and the branch of the bank. So here are we have a sample of 6 banks. This is PNB. We'll select this range of PNB and convert it into the table, and we'll name it as table PNB. Likewise, this range we'll select and convert it into going into the insert and clicking on the table, and we'll name this table as SBI. Next one is table ICI. Next is table Bank of America. This is table Standard Chartered Bank, and this is ANZ Australian New Zealand Bank. So coming back to our main receipt, now we want the name of the concern here from which we want to choose one of the names of the parties. For that just press Alt TL and we'll take the list here and press F3. We'll choose the party's name here. So we have got all the parties name, whatever is into the parties table. We have chosen this payment. Now since we have to get the address of this party, so we need to have this column name same as the spellings are into this column. So we can just copy this and paste there, since we have to use this address for getting the address of this party. So for that we'll use index. It is asking for the array where our answer is, that is table parties. We have to get the answer from table parties, and thereafter we want the row number. This party we have chosen into the name of the concern. What is the row number of this party into the table parties? For that we'll use the function match. We want to match this Bihari Lal and Sons. We'll press F4 to freeze this cell, because we have to use this into the other station also. So we want to match this C8 into party name, the name we have defined for all the parties, meaning thereby party name is the column of all the parties. we have to choose this particular C8 into that, and we have to search the row number of it. Okay, thereafter we need to match the column also. For column we have to choose this address, and we'll freeze this just by pressing 3 times F4, because we have to lock the cell in column A. We need to progress the row 9 10 onwards. So this is why we have locked A means column of this into where we have to search this column. We have to search this address into all columns of parties we want. Since the exact match, we press the 0 and thereafter we close the bracket. So this is the address of the party we have brought. Likewise, we can drag this formula down. Now what was the benefit of freezing this C8, and this is column A into the, this match is for looking into the column of the party. This was to look for the row of the party. So this was the benefit of since we have to look again for into the station, we have to look for this was the reason for freezing C8, since we were to look the same party again here, and since we want here from A9 to A10, so this was column A was freezed, and row was made open. So this is the benefit of index and match. So it has brought. Now let us use the another party. If ABCD and company, this is 123 address and it is of New Delhi, we can look into that. This is ABC and company, this is the address, and this is the station. Likewise, we can search n number of columns, whatever we require. We have to choose just the party out of that. And now next, what is the mode of the payments? Alt DL list. We have to press F3. We have to choose the type of the payment. So this is the type of the payment. We can choose check or RTGS. So we have chosen since the check. Now we need to know the name of the bank. So again Alt DL list, press F3. Since we haven't defined the names of all the banks, we have just defined the tables of each and every bank. For all the banks we need to choose all the banks, and we'll press, or we'll go to formula and click the define name. Here we will define it as all banks. All banks have the range from A1 to F1. So we have defined this name, all banks. We'll just press Alt DL list, and pressing F3 we'll get all banks here. So we can choose now the whichever bank we want. This is Bank of America, and now the what we want is we want all the branches of Bank of America to be shown to the bank branch and not of the other banks. So the problem here is whatever bank we will choose here, we want the branches of this particular bank into the cell. So let us do a rough exercise here. We'll use the formula index. Index is of two kinds. First one is using the array, the other one is reference. Since we are to use the index formula as a array based, so we can also use the references. Since we are to choose the value from different tables, so we can use the reference. For that we'll insert another bracket. We'll choose all the banks. So let us say this bank comma this bank comma, we have to choose the column of that bank. This, just try to use this black headed arrow, so it will choose the column of that bank. So now it is used Bank of America. Now this black headed arrow will choose Standard Chartered Bank. Now this black headed arrow will choose ANZ, and like put all these banks columns of these banks into single bracket. Thereafter, now it is asking for the row number. We'll just skip away. Then it asks for the column number. We skip away, and the last it is asking for area number. Area number we will deal through match. What we want to match here is we want to match this particular value into all banks. All banks means the headers of all those tables. Comma, we want exact match, then 0, close bracket, another bracket for the formula. Now this is, since an array formula will not give the value straight away into this, we can click somewhere into this formula and press F9. It is giving the values now of all those. F9 is a command wherein we can insert into the formula and see the result of that formula. So just by pressing Ctrl Z, we'll come back, we'll just copy this formula, Ctrl C, and we'll define this formula into the name manager wherein we will write all branches. First was all banks, now all branches. It will bring the particular branches of a specific bank. Because this formula was in array formula, so we need to define the name for that particular array. So this is the one. We'll delete this now. We'll get alt dl, press F3, list. We'll get all branches here, whatever name we have defined. So it is saying there is an error. Let us check what is the error. So it is, we'll go to the name manager. We'll try to see the branches. Since the receipt A15, so instead of A15 we want C15, C15. So this was the array problem we have dealt with. Now the Bank of America branches are before you, so we can check PNB. So this is PNB, we have 4 branches. Let us check into that. We have 4 branches, and SBI we have 5 branches. We can check there into. Let us see SBI. So we can choose out of all those branches whichever we want. This is the fun of dependent arrays. So we want the particular branches of SBI or the bank we select. Now next problem is, let us say we want if we want this cash, we don't want any value here, since because the cash we do not require any bank name or branch. How we have dealt with this, we have given this formula into this cell. If C14 means this is the cell C14, and the formula is written here. If C14 is equal to cash, then double quotes twice means put this cell as blank, otherwise write this name as. If we'll choose the value other than cash, then only the value is required. For cash only, we do not require any value here. So this could be done likewise, into here. If we do not want any value here, we can make it blank like this. So this was how we were to prepare the whole receipt. Only the problem always comes is to bring the data somewhere from the table. So for that the best functions are index and match. Just we have to bring the value from a particular table matching a particular column or a row. Thank you so much. Thank you.